mistakes. We see dogs who start to stutter, that don't learn to stride, and so we use the cavalettis here to teach the dogs how to pace themselves out and stride smoothly. We set up a series of 4 cavalettis with a stride length in between, or with some dogs 2 strides. And we ask the dog to go over the jump, gradually, just jumping calmly and quietly, striding himself as he goes over each jump, and then gathering himself up well to take the main jump at the end. This is basically for dogs that do not know how to pace themselves out, or dogs that jump out way too wide out here and do not come in tight under the jump to take an easy jump. They can do this, you'll see the dogs do this for months and months and probably a year, 2 years, but what it does is, without you realizing, it slowly breaks down the front shoulders of the dog, or the rear end of the dog, or the spine of the dog. And all of a sudden, when you're in the advanced classes in Open B and utility, your dog begins to break down. This stems from his early teaching on conditioned jumping. You did not recognize the mistake. The dogs that come in a little too tight, the dogs that think they can fly instead of coming in tight and jumping, the dogs that use the jump to climb over the jump, or the dogs that tend to throw their heads up in order to jump. This particular setup here is to teach a dog to stride and to come in under the jump and take off over the jump smoothly. This particular cavaletti is set up for a dog that comes in too tight under a jump. He doesn't know to gauge his takeoff point. He's got good stride length, but when he comes in here, he comes far too close to the jump, therefore hits and clicks the top of the jump either with his front feet or his back feet, usually his back feet. So we want to teach him where to take off. So we put a small cavaletti in front of the jump and have the dog take off from right here. We teach the dog to take off from his takeoff point here, jump the jump, porpoise like a dolphin, land on his front feet, giving the least effect on his front shoulders. This dog has 1 cavaletti placed before the jump to teach the dog to come closer into the jump before taking off. This dog's natural tendency is to take off far too early. You must also do the cavaletti jumping with the dumbbell in the dog's mouth, because it alters the stride length of the dog. For the dogs that need to have their heads dropped while they're going over the jump, that means they throw their heads up in the air when they're trying to jump, we put a hula hoop up against the high jump and teach them